the meet and greet. So if you have to leave for whatever reason, we will send out the recording to all of you at the end. So yeah, thank you so much for coming to our meet and greet. My name is Gabby Hernandez, and I am the president of SWE this year, and I'm so excited to have all of you here and just to learn about all the opportunities that we're going to be offering, even virtually. I know it might be kind of discouraging coming into freshman year and seeing a lot of your classes go online, but here in SWE, we want to be able to support you and just give you resources and sisterhood that you need in order to be successful. So we'll be, through the meeting, we'll be introducing some of our officers and how you can get a little bit more involved. So I will pass it over to Tatiana, and she will start us off.
Sorry, I was muted there. So hi everyone, my name is Tatiana. I'm the corporate VP for this upcoming year. I'm excited to see all of you guys. It's gonna be a great year. So just before we get started, I'm just gonna go over the agenda so you all know what we're doing. We're gonna start with our introduction, and then we'll do an icebreaker. Then we'll talk about like officer introductions and their advice, SWE leads, and then you'll learn about SWE leads and play a game with that. And then we'll have some tips for virtual classes, because I know you guys probably need some of those. I need some of those. And then we'll go over some questions at the very end. So a little bit about SWE. So our mission is to empower women to achieve full potential in careers as engineers and leaders, expand the image of engineering and technology professions as a positive force in improving the quality of life, and demonstrates the value of diversity and inclusion. And our collegiate benefits is our socials, retreats, conferences, professional development, and our mentorship. And besides all of that benefits, you like make friends that last forever, and it's just a fun community and environment to be in. It definitely helped me my freshman year. I know that if I didn't have if I wasn't part of SWE Leads, I probably wouldn't have talked to so many people or done very much. And I'm excited to see all of you guys grow in SWE this year. So just so y'all know, we have a website, it's swetmu.org. And if you guys want to go and learn about our programs, we have several, but it's under our programs tab. And then also learn about the corporate access. If you guys want to work on a resume and drop resumes, we do have that option. And that way when companies ask for resumes, we can send that out. And it's cool as a freshman to even, have the opportunity to have your resume sent out to companies. And just so y'all know, we do have merch in SWE, and we do it by points. So the more events you go to, the more points you can get. And if you guys want to get your first SWE point, go in and open the chat box, click on the Google poll that Gabby just sent right now, and submit it for 1 point. Easiest SWE point, right? No. Okay. And I'll send it back to Gabby for the icebreaker.
Okay, so I'll give y'all a couple of seconds to do the poll just so you can get your SWE point. And then also within the poll, there's like an opportunity to sign up for the listserv. So that's something that we send out every week through email, just so you can get more up to date with what we're doing and like the different programs that we're offering. But there's also no pressure if you don't want to be on the listserv. So I'll just give a couple more minutes for you to fill that out, and then we'll go into our icebreaker.
Gabby, there's a question.
Oh, sorry. It's hard for me to see it with presenting.
Okay, Tatiana answered it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's okay if you've already submitted it. Yeah, you're good. Okay, so while y'all are finishing that up, I'll go ahead and go into the icebreaker that we're going to be doing, um, just to get to know each other a little bit more and then get to know some of the officers before we all introduce ourselves. So for the icebreaker activity, you'll be going into breakout rooms with a couple other freshmen and then some officers. And so the objective is to find 3 things in common with your whole group in the breakout rooms. So you'll have 5 minutes to do this. And so when you go into the breakout rooms, I believe it says like a number like 1, 2, breakout room 1 or 2. So just like remember what breakout room you're in, because when we come back, I'll like pick on a couple of like rooms to see what y'all found out. So Michaela, if you don't mind going ahead and starting that. So we'll have 5 minutes just to kind of get to know each other. Okay, it looks like it's kind of sticking. So I'll call on a random group if y'all don't mind sharing, someone from your group sharing like some things that you found in common. So could a representative from group number 2 speak up about like what things you found in common?
Yeah, I can say them. So we found that all of us have been out of our home state. Like we've traveled outside of the state that we were born or grew up in. And then our second thing we found in common is that we all have GroupMe already downloaded onto our cellular devices. And then the third thing is that we are not ready for the semester to start tomorrow.
Okay, I love that. GroupMe is one thing I didn't even think of doing. Okay, that's smart. Okay, and then someone from group 5. Well, that will be the last group that we'll hear from, but anyone from group 5?
Well, we found in common that we are all girls,
Good there, yeah.
that we like chocolate, and I can't remember the third thing.
All right, that's okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's like, yeah, I actually found that it was pretty like easy to find things in common. So yeah. So we'll go ahead and go to introductions of the officer team. So as I mentioned before, my name's Gabby and I'm the president. So just a little bit about me. I started out in SWE. I remember going to like the freshman luncheon, just like, or it used to be a luncheon when we had it in person when I was just starting out in A&M. I was super nervous because I was actually homeschooled throughout middle school and high school. And so, you know, like going through that, I didn't really know what engineering was, honestly, and I kind of applied for it like on a whim. I think like senior year when I was like filling out college applications. And so like nobody had really explained to me like what engineering is, like just like the different types of engineering, and even like as a homeschooler, it was very uncommon for homeschoolers in my group at the time to go into engineering. And so like in my homeschooling group, I was the only girl to go into an engineering field at A&M. And so now I'm like looking back and I'm seeing like so many more women do that. Specifically Emma, who's like now an officer, which is really cool to see. So just like kind of going through that journey, and I found SWE. I was introduced to it by an old friend of mine, and just like having a community of women, you know, right off the bat to like help me through my journey when I felt like so clueless and I didn't even know what to do, and was super, super helpful. So you'll hear a little bit more about this later, but I joined SWE Leads, which is a freshman leadership program that Emma and Rachel will talk about later. But that was the start of my journey. I was in the STEM Fest committee, so we planned this whole kind of like festival, or like you know, we had like different organizations come with different STEM activities to show Girl Scouts like what engineering and science was all about, and just to get them excited about it. And so that's kind of where my passion for like STEM education and like working with girls to introduce them to those topics like came from. And so I moved into an officer the next year and became the flame chair, which is the bottom picture with like the bricks. And so that's like a mentorship program that that you can also apply to later this year. And then after that, I became actually the outreach chair. So I got to work with Alexis, who's also here on the call, like one of the VPs, and expand our outreach program to include high schoolers. And so that was like a really fun, a really cool thing to do, and just be able to like do my passion in SWE, and have girls who are supporting me like throughout that journey. So kind of like fast forward, I became like VP, and got to help the officer team out and just kind of be like a supporting role for them this past year. And then now I'm the president. So if you would have told me like when I was like attending the freshman luncheon that I would become the president of SWE, I would have like said that you were crazy. Like that's just never something I would imagine I'd be doing. But yeah, just definitely like don't limit yourself. I would just say like be open to opportunities in college, and especially like now that things are virtual, it might be kind of more difficult to get involved in things. But here in SWE, again, we just want to be like a support system for you and just to get you connected, and just to help you have to develop you professionally and personally and develop your leadership skills, because I know you are all like so capable of great things. But yeah, outside of SWE, I actually interned for Procter & Gamble 2 summers. So I kind of like dubbed myself the toilet paper engineer because I made toilet paper. So during the pandemic, this past summer, I was actually in Green Bay, Wisconsin, like working on Bounty and like working on like different paper products and things like that. But I also really enjoy like going to football games and like trying new restaurants. But yeah, I think as far as like a piece of advice going into your freshman year and beyond, is to have a balance and make sure that you are taking care of yourself, like mentally and physically, because that will make like such a huge difference in just your like productivity, but also just making sure that you're taking care of yourself for like you, and making sure you're not like getting too overwhelmed with everything, because it can be definitely hard as an engineer. So yeah, so I will hand it off to the executive team and the officer team to introduce themselves. So yeah, we'll start with Sarah.
Yeah. All right. Hi, guys. My name is Sarah Macias. I am a senior chemical engineering student from San Antonio, Texas. I will be serving as the internal vice president this upcoming school year. So I will be helping Alexis kind of oversee our officer team, kind of overseeing the internal programs we have. I'm super excited to get to know y'all, and I will pass it on to Alexis.
I think Alexis is having some technical difficulties, so we'll go ahead and move on to Tatiana and then come back to her at the end.
Okay, well, howdy everyone. My name is Tatiana. I'm a sophomore chemical engineer. I'm going to be the corporate VP for this upcoming year. My role is to talk to companies, keep that relationship, as well as host our general meetings and some corporate socials I hope to see all at. Okay. I'm so excited to see everyone this year, and I'm going to be passing it on to Inshara now.
Hello, everybody. My name is Inshra, and I am a sophomore industrial and systems engineering major this year, and I will be serving as your finance VP. So what I do on a daily basis this year is going to be working with officers to finalize finances and working with companies and reporting to SWE National about our financial situation. And now I'll pass it on to Michaela.
Howdy, I'm Michaela. I'm a junior computer science major, and I'll be serving as this year's VP administration. So I'm doing all the behind the scenes things like running this Zoom meeting or running the general meeting, Zoom meetings, and yeah, I'll pass it off to Rachel.
Hi everyone, I'm Rachel. I'm a sophomore chemical engineering major this year, and I am one of your SWE co-chairs. I'm not going to say too much about it because we're going to be talking about it in just a little bit, but I'll pass it off to Emma.
Hi everybody, my name is Emma. I'm a sophomore CS computer science major, and I am one of the co-chairs for SWE. And I'll pass it off to Emily.
Howdy, my name is Emily. and I am a senior mechanical engineering major, and I am one of the high school conference co-chairs. If y'all don't know what the high school conference is, it's a conference we put on in the spring for high school juniors and seniors to come and check out A&M and learn about the engineering program. Some of y'all may have attended, but yeah, I'll pass it on to Suzanne.
Hi everyone, I'm Suzanne. I'm a junior electrical engineering major and I'm also one of the HSC co-chairs. And I think on a piece of advice that I have for all of you is just to, it's for classes and stuff, just to be really, not to be afraid to ask any questions. You know, there's like a lot of resources and things, so make sure you take advantage of that and don't be afraid because everyone's there to help you succeed. So then I'll pass it off to Emma.
Hi, I'm the other Emma Rader, and I'm the third HSC co-chair. I'm a sophomore material science major. And one little piece of advice is if you can and you feel comfortable with it, turn your video on for Zoom calls, especially like in class, because your teachers will like that. And then I'll pass it on to Lindsay.
All right, hey you guys, my name is Lindsay. My video is not working right now for some reason, but I hope y'all can hear me. I am the outreach co-chair this year, and I am specifically over the Inspire committee, which is elementary school outreach. And my co-chair Danielle will be telling y'all about herself next.
So my name is Daniela. I'm a civil engineering major. I'm a junior. I am the other outreach co-chair, and I am in charge of Engage, which is like the little bit of elementary school and mostly middle school like program. And I'll pass it on to Alexia.
Hi everyone, I'm Alexia Perez. I'm a junior computer engineering major from Houston, and my advice to y'all would be to, I know it's online now, but make a group of friends. Maybe SWE is a great way to meet people because sometimes it's hard to balance your hanging out with people and your studying, but if you meet some people in engineering, it's cool to study together.
Howdy, my name is Anjali. I'm a sophomore computer science major, and I'm so excited to be the STEMFest officer this year. I think Gabby touched on what STEMFest is, which is a day-long event where Girl Scouts come and get to explore STEM concepts. So one piece of advice I have is to really utilize your professors' office hours. Professors are there to really help you, but it's your job to go and attend them and really make sure you understand the material, but they're super excited to see you and also get to know you.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm a junior in Industrial and Systems Engineering major, and I am the Flame Chair, which is a mentorship program for any members, to like, how do I say, like pair up with a mentor who's right now in engineering career, and they give you tips and advice for when you graduate, which is really helpful. And one piece of advice that I would give for freshmen is to remember to eat. When you're long hours studying, long hours of doing homework, you forget to eat or sometimes even just like drink water. So make sure to take breaks, even 15-minute breaks. It makes a huge difference.
Howdy everyone, my name is Amanda and I'm a junior chemical engineer and I am the SWE representative. So basically I'll be in charge of being the main point of contact between SWE and other organizations. One piece of advice I have is don't skip class, especially since they're like virtual. You don't want to think like, I'll watch this lecture later since it'll be posted online, because you won't and you will fall behind. And now I'll pass it on to Diva.
Hi everyone, my name is Diva and I'm a sophomore computer science major. And I am one of the professional development co-chairs for this year. One piece of advice I'd have for the freshmen is to use some sort of like planner or calendar, maybe like a calendar whiteboard or Google Calendar, just something to keep track of all your deadlines and due dates for projects and assignments. It just helps you be prepared, especially with so many classes, and make sure that you don't miss any deadlines. And I'm going to pass it on to my co-chair, Roshan.
Hey everyone, my name is Roshan and I'm a sophomore computer engineering major. I'm the other professional development co-chair. So one piece of advice I have for you is to let them tell you no. So as a freshman, you'll see lots of opportunities you want to apply for, like internships or programs. And so my advice is don't eliminate yourself before you even apply, even if you're not confident. Most likely than not, they'll see your passion and your willingness to grow, and that's also very important.
Hello everyone, my name is Alejandra. I'm a junior interdisciplinary engineering major and I'm one of two social co-chairs. As the name suggests, I'm in charge of doing social events for SWE, and my piece of advice would be to become friends with your professor because they can help you in more ways than you think, and not only academically but also professionally. And I'll pass it on to Dakota.
Hi everyone, my name is Dakota. I'm your other socials co-chair for this year. I'm a sophomore industrial and systems engineering major, and my piece of advice to y'all is, it might sound obvious, but take your student ID everywhere you go with you, because getting locked outside of your dorm or not being able to enter a building just might not be fun for y'all. So yeah, and I'll pass it on to Isabella.
Hi, I'm Isabella. I'm a junior chemical engineering major, and I am the public relations chair. So I'm in charge of the website and all the social media. And my advice would be, anytime you finish working at an event or volunteering at anything, just take some time to write down some of the things you learned, because those will be the things that recruiters will usually ask you about later. So it's nice to just reflect about what you learned so you can use that in the future.
Okay, and then we'll let Alexis go. Alexis, I'm not sure if you're on mute.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I was in unstable internet, but howdy. My name is Alexis DeGraff. I am a chemical engineering major from Temple, Texas, but most importantly, I am the loudest and proudest member of the Fighting Texas Aggie class of 2022. AAA, whoop! And I am the VP External for this upcoming year. So I essentially work with the officer team to help them grow and develop into the leaders they want to be. And I'm also here to be your friend. So if you have any questions, feel free to come talk to me. My advice to you would be update your resume and LinkedIn 3 times a year, in August, December, and May, after each semester and before the fall semester starts. Just so much easier trying to prepare for career fair.
All right, awesome. Thank you, everyone. So with all these great officers, great people to get to know, if you would like to join the team, we actually have an opportunity for you. So I will let Intra take over, because this is something that she headed last year.
Hey, hello everybody. So we actually have a really good opportunity for freshmen, and that is called the Freshman Representative Officer. So you could join our officer team with this position, and what this position entails is that you're going to lead the Big Little program. So what the Big Little program is it's a mentorship program where freshmen get to be mentored by upperclassmen to learn more about college and for someone to be there while they're adjusting to their first year in university. And in addition, you're responsible for organizing the freshman mini conference in the spring. So I was actually the freshman representative officer last semester, and I organized a little workshop for freshmen during that year, as you can see in the slides. And one of our topics was leadership, and that is in the slide below. And also you get to get mentorship support from the rest of the executive team, from the rest of your officers, and learn a lot about leadership from a really young age in college. So I really think this is a great opportunity, and I can't wait for everyone that's going to apply. And if you have any questions about this, please don't hesitate to contact me at financevp@sweetimru.org for any information or any questions you guys have. And if you guys have any questions about the application itself, you can contact Michaela at adminvp@swetamu.org. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Intra. All right, and so we do have social media that Isabella does a great job of posting things. So we do have a Facebook page, so we do post a lot of announcements, such as like the freshman rep application and the SWE Leads application. So I would highly recommend following us on Facebook. And then the poll that you filled out, if you chose to be part of our listserv, we will go ahead and add you to that. But then we also have all of our other social media like Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram that I highly recommend that you get involved with. So yeah. And so we can send out all this information out for a follow-up email as well. So I will hand it over to Emma and Rachel to talk about SWE Leads.
All right, hello everyone. So we kept saying SWE Leads, but we haven't really explained what it is. So now we're gonna do that. And real quick, just to reintroduce ourselves, I'm Rachel. I'm from Fort Worth. I'm a sophomore, and I'll be in chemical engineering.
Howdy everyone, my name is Emma Ong. I'm from Bel Air, Texas, and I'm a sophomore computer science student.
All right, so what is SWE Leads? It is a freshman leadership organization within the Society of Women Engineers, and it is a great opportunity for leadership development, professional development, just doing service activities, and like we said before, just having a sisterhood of support through SWE. So why should all of you guys apply and join SWE Leads? It's a great way to get leadership experience. You'll be in a committee where you'll be able to organize events and just be an active member. You get to meet other freshman women in engineering, which is great just because you guys have the same classes, and it's you can study together, just work together on things. You can also develop your professional skills. And like we said, it's a great community of support.
So if you join SWE Leads, you'll get to be in one of 5 committees we have. The first committee we have here is the Professional Development Committee. This was my committee last year, and I absolutely loved it. I made my closest friends within my committee, and my resume and LinkedIn improved so much. So the purpose of this committee is to help members develop essential professional and networking skills for school and industry. If you're in this committee, you'll get to put on a lot of workshops and events like the Major Career Fair, which is a fair created to specifically help y'all to get to know all the engineering majors so that when it's time to choose a specific engineering major, you'll all be prepared.
And next up is our fundraising committee. So the goal of this committee is to encourage fiscal responsibility and help our members develop essential business skills to help them feel more comfortable in a sales environment or just in a business environment in general. So some of the things that we'll be doing this semester are a budgeting workshop, and we'll also be having a winter fundraiser that will be virtual.
Our next committee is the Socials Committee. So if you're into planning fun events and marketing through social media, then this is the committee for you. Our Socials Committee is our public relations committee. They're in charge of our social media, and they're in charge of also recording events through photography, hosting fun social events, and designing our SWE Leads t-shirt.
And next up is our service committee. I was in this one last year, and I absolutely loved it. It was super fun just getting to organize different service events and just volunteer out in the community. So the goal is to plan philanthropic events that allow members to give back to the community. A few of the things that we did last year was donating to a food bank. We visited nursing homes, and it was canceled last year, but it is something we do every year. It's called Big Event. Maybe you guys have already heard about it, but it's something that Bryan College Station just does as a community to get together and serve each other, and it's super fun. I'm looking forward to it.
And last but not least is our newest committee, the Education Committee. So this committee is in charge of helping our members develop essential engineering skills they'll need in industry and informing members of opportunities such as internships, hackathons, and scholarships. As a freshman, I really didn't know about so many internships, or I would be aware of the internship after the application deadline. But this year with this committee, y'all won't have to go through that. So if you join this committee, you'll be the first to know about opportunities. You'll get to put on workshops and events like our study skills and tips workshop, which is amazing for freshmen. And you'll get to put on or coordinate company plant tours. So yeah, apply to SWE Leads. If you scan the QR code right here, you'll be taken to the SWE TAMU website, which will have our application and more information on SWE Leads. Rachel and I are awesome and our awesome counselors. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at sweleads@swetamu.org, and I'll put that in the chat.
And real quick from the chat, yes, you can definitely attend like any committee's workshops and events. That's sort of how the meetings work. There'll be different committees presenting like at different meetings, so everyone will hear the information. But yeah, so we're gonna move on to a little activity for y'all. This is called the STAR interview method. Maybe you've heard of it. It is super common, and it's common because it works really well. So STAR stands for situation, task, action, and results. And this is just used like in general in interviews to give you a little better direction when you're answering a question, to help you be clear and concise. And I feel like it's explained a little better with an example. So say an interviewer were to ask you, hey, tell me about a time when you made a mistake and what did you learn from the mistake? So first you would start with situation. You would set the scene of the situation you were in, just to give a little context and background so the interviewer understands where you're coming from. And then next is task. And this should be pretty brief, just saying like this is what needed to get done. Try not to get stuck too much in the details. And then next would be action. So what action did you take to resolve the situation? If you made a mistake, maybe talk about that, like I did this, but it didn't work. Or if you made a mistake and you were able to fix it and turn it into a success, great, talk about that too. And then last would be results. So what were the results of the actions that you took? If it was a mistake, what did you learn? How are you going to do better next time? Or if you were able to turn it into a success, also great. What did you learn? And maybe how did this lead to further successes? But yeah, so that's just a very general overview. And I would actually recommend that you guys take a picture of this slide, because we're going to be showing another slide in just a second. So take a picture of it for reference, and then we're going to be moving on to the next one.
So yeah, so now we're gonna practice. We'll be splitting up into breakout rooms for you all to practice with these questions, and in each breakout room, there will be an officer to give you all feedback. The SWE officer will first state the question, and then you all can take turns answering that question, and then you can move on to the next question. So, and I'll also post all these questions in the chat, so don't worry about writing them all down.
Okay, so we'll give everyone like a second to come back, and then we'll, I know we're nearing the end of our time, so we'll quickly go over just some like quick tips for virtual classes, and then some events that we're having come up. But if I will send out a follow-up email with like all this information. That way you'll have all of our events and social media and things like that, so you can quickly get connected. So I'll just wait a couple more minutes for people to come in.
I actually have a question. I was wondering if this is considered a flow if you join like SWE Leads, or is it like not it within that?
So we kind of like model, it's kind of like, it's like a freshman leadership program, so it's very similar to a flow, but it's like not within like the actual like flow community, if that makes
So,
sense.
do you guys like limit how many freshmen you accept?
Typically we do. There is like an interview process and everything. And then Rachel, do you have the number that you're accepting this year?
So typically we accepted around 50 people.
Yeah, but there's definitely like, you know, like if you, I know like some freshmen like join a flow in addition to SWE leads. So we've had a couple of the people do that in the past. But if there's always like a lot of opportunities to get involved like outside of SWE leads as well.
Just some advice real fast, because I was in SWE leads and I had roommates who were in flows. Flows take up quite a lot of time, and I know people who like got into a flow and then tried to do a lot of organizations on top of that, and they found like they were having to like get out of other organizations to like be able to manage schoolwork. So going into your freshman year, like be careful on joining like too many things at once to where you can't focus on your work. So I would compare SWE leads to a flow, but I feel like SWE leads is more focused on making you more of a leader and farthering you in like the professional side of like engineering, whereas a flow is more open to like all majors. So it's more just developing you in a social stance and then also in the professional side, but it's not focused on engineering.
All right, thank you. I was looking at the flows yesterday, and they were very like, you have to come to this and like you're required to do that, and I was kind of like, but I'm in engineering.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Yeah, I feel like with SWE leads, like they're definitely, you know, obviously like we want you to like come and like participate and like be involved, but definitely much more understanding with like your schedule as an engineer. So yeah, so I'll quickly go over some like virtual tips real quick, and then we'll wrap up. So some of these are probably talked about like by the officer team when they're giving their advice, but just some quick tips. I really recommend like having an organized, like clean study area. I know when we went online last year, I kind of started in my bed, and that was not really helpful because I would kind of like want to go back to sleep or like do other things. So I try to like have my desk with maybe some like cute little pictures and things to like motivate me, and I feel like that's like much more productive. And then also eliminate distractions. I am like really bad also at like paying attention to a screen, and I know like Zoom fatigue is like a real thing. And so I have a bad habit of getting on my phone and like playing Candy Crush, but there are apps to help you not like be on your phone. So there's one, I forgot what the app is called, but it's like you put your phone away and you can like actually grow trees and like actually help the environment. So that's just a suggestion for stuff like that to make sure you're like off your phone. Definitely make a study plan and incorporate breaks. I try to say like, okay, I'm only going to do school from 8 to like 4 or 5. And I know it gets a little hectic with like homework, but just make sure you're taking breaks and making sure that you're taking care of yourself and having hobbies and like getting involved in organizations, because it can get, burnout is real, and it can be hard to like not have, you know, to not get burnt out from like all the homework and like the Zoom and everything like that. So just make sure you're taking breaks. And then one thing I know that was mentioned at like in the advice, I think by Alexia, was to create like study groups and friends. So I know right now, I think you're still able to like be on campus and study on campus a little bit, but just in case like that option is no longer available down the line, definitely create those connections and then have like virtual study groups. I found that was like super helpful to like keep me on track and to get homework done like faster and more efficiently. Yeah, those are just a couple tips. So as far as like important dates, like moving forward, we do have a SWE informational next Tuesday. So we'll be going more in depth with all the different programs that we offer. So we like offer mentorship programs, outreach programs. A lot of the officers that introduce themselves have different things for you to get involved in. We do have a diversity career fair happening on September 3rd. I know like SEC career fair can be kind of intimidating because there's like a lot of companies and just like a lot of people going. And so our diversity career fair is like for our SWE members, only a couple companies coming. And so it would be a good way to kind of get into the career fair mindset in a smaller, more personalized setting. That way it's not so scary going into the SEC career fair like all at once. And then our first general meeting will be on the Tuesday following, so Tuesday, September 8th, and we will have a company coming and presenting. And then, yeah, just a reminder about SWE applications and freshman rep applications, but I will also send out, again, an email with follow-up. And so if you have any questions, always feel free to email me. You can also go on the website and get all of our different emails from the different officer positions if you have a specific question for somebody. But yeah, just feel free to email me. If you don't know who to ask, I can always like point you to the right person. So with that, does anyone have any questions immediately? I know like the chat, people have been using the chat, but if anyone has any questions or comments, like please feel free to like say them. But I know we're kind of a little bit over our time, so I really appreciate everyone for coming to our event. We really hope to see you in SWE, and again, just like let us know if you need anything to help support you like during this time, and we just want to be your friend and give you like what you need to succeed. So thank you.
I had one quick question. I already asked, but I'm not quite sure. So if I want to apply to become a SWE lead, but I'm a new student, but I'm a transfer student, so I'm taking some freshman courses and some sophomore courses. So can I still apply, or does it have to be for a freshman?
I'll let Emma and Rachel answer this question. I'm not sure if y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately only freshmen can apply, but we actually have a lot of other committees, SWE committees such as like our PR committee. So yeah, there's a lot of other opportunities to be involved in SWE.
Thank you.
Yeah, and like one thing that like I will be talking about at the informational is I'm kind of trying to start like this upperclassmen program. It's not going to be like as in depth as SWE leads, like with all the committees, but just something to and it doesn't have to necessarily be only for upperclassmen, but just like kind of a community within like SWE that is not necessarily like SWE leads. But I'll talk more about that at the informational.
Awesome. I wrote those committees down. Thank you.
All right, yeah. But yeah, anyway, y'all are, if y'all don't have any questions, y'all are free to log off. But again, really appreciate all of y'all coming.
So I also just had a quick question about meetings. Like if we were in SWE leads, would we also have to go to additional meetings because we're in like a committee, or?
Yeah, so for SWE leads, the weeks that SWE doesn't meet, there's going to be SWE leads general meetings on Tuesdays. We're not completely sure on the time yet, but it'll be 7:30 or 8, somewhere in there. And then also once you're in a committee in SWE, you'll have weekly meetings with your committee as well.
Okay, so for like each committee we're in, we'll have a different meeting time, or?
Yeah, and in SWE leads, you're only in one committee, so like one of the 5 that we talked about. And then when we have the general meetings, everyone is meeting together. But the meeting times for your committee will be figured out just based on like everyone's availability. But, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you for the information.
Okay, I think most of the, I think it's, we love excitement about joining SWE. We love to see it.